No, I can't get to the. Welcome back to Chicago Sports Podcast, coming to you live from Bridges Scoreboard here in Griffith, Indiana. We're just a few hours away from kickoff as the Chicago Bears get ready to face the San Francisco 49ers. I'm your host, Brandon Hyatt. I'm here with Big Game James, and we have a very special guest with us today, former Notre Dame standout and Chicago Bears linebacker, Bobby Howard. Before he comes up, I want to ask Big Game James a couple questions. Big Game James, how do you feel about Thomas Brown today in his first ever audition as an interim head coach with the Chicago Bears?
I feel really good about it today. I think with what we've seen the last 3 games with him as the OC, I don't think anything changes, and put the whooping on Frisco today.
Yeah. How do you feel that we're going to do? How do you feel that we're going to do with basically on the offensive side of things? Do you think that's going to be an issue with him on the defensive side since he's offensive minded, or do you think he's going to be able to take care of the team altogether?
Yeah, I think he'll be able to take care of the team altogether. Pretty much, I think the coordinator is going to, the D coordinator is going to keep things together for him there, take care of everything. But as long as he keeps the offense rolling like it has been for the last couple of weeks, really good shot, feel good.
What would your keys be in order to keep that defense rolling and to be able to wear all those hats? Take us through a process, be a little bit of detailed on this, because this is important. This is what a lot of people want to know, you know?
They got to put pressure on the quarterback. One thing they've struggled with this year is consistently pressuring the quarterback. The line has to step up. The D line has to step up today and put as much pressure on Brock Purdy as they can. And I think good things will happen.
How is that his job, though? I mean, doesn't he rely on the defensive coordinator? Why would he have his hands in that?
Well, the coach has his hands in just a little bit of everything. I mean, yes, it is on the D coordinator, but it ultimately does go through the coach. So we'll see what happens.
So is that going to take away a little bit more detail on this one? Is that going to take away from his ability to see the offensive side of the ball? What is he going to do? What are you looking at in this game as a head coach for him to be well-rounded in all phases?
I think for him as a head coach, he's just got to keep it simple. Keep the offense rolling like they have. Let the court trust in the coordinators to have the defense going and keep everything, like you said, keep everything well-rounded. And there you go. There you have it.
What are the keys to today's game? What do you see that he needs to do in order to win us over?
Just consistency, like I've been saying, run the ball, time of possession on offense, keep running the ball, keep San Francisco off the field as much as they can. I think it's going to be a big key, and just key stops, and there we go.
How do you think Caleb's going to respond with this?
I think we're going to see another great game out of Caleb. He keeps improving with every game. So as long as he just keeps it simple, I like what Thomas Brown's done with him. Just, simple routes, not confusing him as a rookie. And just, like they say, keep it simple, stupid.
How does he keep it simple? What does he do? How is he going to help out the offensive line and worry about the defensive line? What does this look like for an interim coach? Do you remember the last time an interim coach stepped in? What is it about a coach that you like that they showed that he could also?
Well, I can't even remember the last time the Bears had an interim coach.
Not the Bears, just in the NFL.
Well, Yeah. The one I seem to remember was
Coach for the Raiders, right?
Coach for the Raiders, and even a couple years ago with the Colts, he did a fairly decent job. Saturday.
I liked him.
Yeah.
I really wanted him to be a head coach somewhere. I mean, he's a good analyst. Don't get me wrong, but I honestly think that there still might be a place for him somewhere.
Oh, there might be. I was kind of hoping he would have got a head coach job out of that, because they didn't, with him having no experience, they weren't really giving him a shot to, become a head coach or pass that season. But he did a hell of a job for the Colts, and I think Brown's going to do similar to that.
Yeah, well, let's hope that works out. Big Game James, thank you for your analysis, and let's let you mingle with everybody and get out there and work the crowd and get ready for the Bears game, man. Thanks, brother.
All right, no problem.
And without further ado, Bobby, welcome to the show. Here comes Bobby.
How you doing?
Looking good, looking good. Come on over on this side. Yeah. He's about ready to make his way.
All right. I didn't know I was on camera.
I did too.
Bobby, welcome to the show. It's great to have you. How are you feeling being back in the Chicago area during the football season?
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Well, Chicago is a great sports town, so always good to be around here in during football season.
Yeah, it sure is. Let's start with your journey. Growing up, what drew you to football? What made and captivated you into liking the game of football?
Probably when I was about 5 years old, I was in the house with my mom, and she was in the kitchen doing something, and she looked at me. It was warm outside, and she's like, "You're not gonna stay up here. You're not gonna. Can you hear?
Yeah.
Okay. You're not gonna stay up here."
He unplugged everything. You unplugged everything. So, go ahead. They can still hear you on YouTube land.
All right, good. Yeah, so my mom, she basically threw a football out in the yard, told me to get out there and go play, and then from then on, the love began.
Okay. Growing up with football, did you always know you wanted to play at the collegiate and professional level?
No, I actually thought I would. I always wanted to play at the collegiate level, but I thought I would stop there. Growing up, it just seemed like that the game meant a little more to college athletes. But then I got to college, and I said, well, I like this. I don't really want to get a real job, so let's see how far this thing can take me.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. I talk to a lot of people, and it's interesting. The grassroots of things is just what's awesome. It's what we like. It's what it embodies us. As far as fans, I mean, talking to you is like a breath of fresh air, Bobby, because you are still and always will be a fan, and you love, and it basically, when you're around people, you could tell how much you love people and be around people. And it wasn't just like, like the game was just a game. It was a way for you to reach out to people. And when we had you show up for Scott Bridges' benefit, that was awesome. Big shout out to Bobby for showing up to Bridges. Scott Bridges, he was the only Chicago Bear alumni to show up. Not to say that there's anything against anybody that couldn't make it. They all got busy schedules. We all got busy schedules. But shout out to Bobby Howard for answering the bell to Scott Bridges' time of need. Just so you know, Bobby does not like cameras. He does not like microphones. He likes to be behind the scenes talking to people. So I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible. I apologize for this, brother. I apologize for this, man. So, anyways, so Notre Dame is one of the most storied programs in college football. A lot of people in the building are Notre Dame fans. Notre Dame has been doing really good this year. What was it like playing for such an iconic school, and what are some of your favorite memories for your time in South Bend?
Well, when you play at a place like Notre Dame, every game is a big game.
Yeah.
So that right there, level of notoriety and level of competition added to the football experience. But really, the things that you remember about college is really in the locker room. It's not necessarily the games. I mean, there are moments that you remember in the games, but it's the people and the teammates and the friends that you acquire there that you really miss.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. That's awesome that you are still in touch with some people. You're still connected, and you're connected here today, man. And we love you for that. Thank you so much, man. What was the after an incredible career at Notre Dame, you joined the Chicago Bears. Give it up for the Chicago Bears. What was the What was the transition? I hope the Bears match your energy over there. Let's do it. What was the transition like from college to the NFL? What stood out to you the most about playing for the Monsters of the Midway?
Well, my first stop was, everything happens for a reason. And when I came out of college, I wasn't drafted. I went free agent to Tampa Bay.
Oh, that's right.
And there I wish I'd have been able to stay longer just to learn from, Tony Dungy.
Oh my gosh.
Lovey Smith was my position coach. Hardy Nickerson, Derrick Brooks. All these, and there were a lot of other great players there too. So that right there kind of prepared me for what happened when I got to the Bears, because the transition from college to pros is, one, everybody knows the speed is faster. Two, the level of detail and what you have to know offensively, defensively, and special teams is there. And then three, in college, a quarterback may look and say, well, that guy's covered, so you kind of made the play. But in the NFL, they'll throw in a tight window and make you make the play. So the margin for error is a lot less in the NFL. And that's what I learned.
Look at all these guys here. Barrelissimo. Barrelissimo is all the way from across the pond in England. Oh, yeah. I love this guy. He's so good. King James, he's in here. Big fan of LeBron, apparently. Who else is King James? You know what I mean? Debbie Tuttle, she loves you, bro. She was one of the Honey Bears. Oh, yeah? She was one of the last cheerleaders. She still beats the drum and tries to get cheerleaders back in the building. Shout out to CTS Diva. She's awesome. There's a lot of people in this chat, man. We got over 100 in the building. We got over 100 at Bridges, man. It's great. Wall to wall, we got 27 big screen televisions. If you're not here at Bridges Scoreboard, what the hell are you doing? Get down here. They're giving away everything. I have to freaking nail everything down, all my podcast equipment. They try to give that away too, folks. They got freaking all kinds of stuff. They're giving away a big screen Chicago Bears television today, 50-50. They've got tip boards, you name it, they got it. I got about 6 different trivia things that we do during in-house. Now, I tell you what, out of all 32 teams, I put our fans on record with being the smartest of all. They know everything. And you guys help me out in the chat. You bail my dumbass out a lot because there's a lot of stuff I don't know. You guys know. I appreciate you. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Leave a 5-star review. You all know what to do. Let's unpack a couple more questions with Bobby Howard. All right. So, Bobby, we got a couple more questions here, man. Well, who were some of your biggest influences or mentors? For me, it would be Tony Dungy, bro. I read the book Quiet Strength. That guy is a writer, man, and he is a man amongst men. So there are guys that are like leaders, Bobby. We got the guys like like Mike Ditka, the guys that beat the table and, get in your face. Tony Dungy had that quiet strength, man. And also I believe Lovey did too. But my question back to you is, that was a great book. I recommend you guys check it out, man. Who were your mentors in your time in Chicago, both on and off the field, man? Who did you draw to?
Mentor, well, that's a tough question because Chicago gave me a chance, and I really enjoyed my time in Chicago. And all the coaches, I've been fortunate to have great coaches all throughout my life.
We encouraged, or we didn't encourage. We enjoyed your time in Chicago, but maybe some players that really resonated and stood out and like kind of took you under the wing, and helped you out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So back to the coaches. Coach Ron was always great. Dale, my first linebacker coach, was great. Coach Sweatman, the special teams coach, was great. So they all taught me a lot of football. And then the players were great. Urlacher, Roosevelt Coleman, Warren Coleman, Greg Jones, Mike Caldwell. So all of them, Lance, I was fortunate to play with Lance for a little bit. So everybody added their different aspect to it. It brought something to the table. Fred Baxter was a tight end.
Oh, Baxter, yeah.
Larry Wiggum taught me a lot.
Wiggums.
Yeah. So a lot of these veterans, they just told you things about being a pro. Like, like this move will work.
Yeah.
This is how you take care of your body, or you need to stop doing here, or get up in the morning, get in the cold tub. So it's just bits and pieces that you pick from there. And, a lot of those guys helped me out in there.
They had the cold tub back in the day. I know that's a big thing right now. They got that thing with Kevin Hart where he does all the interviews with people in the ice bath. I'm like, why you got to do that in an ice bath? You know what I mean? So that's cool, man. Barrelismo says, my nickname for Eberflus was the pastor of disaster. I like that. He says, does Thomas Brown get away with a win on Sunday on his first attempt when Eberflus didn't manage one in 3 years? Do you think that could possibly happen?
Yeah, I think so. The Bears, they have a good team. It just have been playing inconsistent.
Yeah.
So it's possible. San Francisco's banged up. So
Yeah.
They've been coming away with a win.
Hey, here's the thing, man. This guy, there's a troll in here. He's hilarious. You guys got to check this out. Chicago Sports Podcast on YouTube. This guy's hilarious. He keeps asking us to start Bajan and bench Caleb. And he says, start Bajan. What planet are you on? It's freaking hilarious. He said, as you were a DC at St. Lawrence, he said, what do you think is going to happen with Washington today? How do you think he's going to turn out?
Well, shouldn't be too big of a drop off from the defense. I mean, he's the defensive coordinator. They've been running this. He's the defensive coordinator. They've been running the same scheme, so there shouldn't be too much difference going on. I know when you have coaching changes, though, a lot of things you want to look for. You want to look for efficiency, and the way you increase efficiency is to increase the amount of things that you're doing.
Yeah.
So you to do that, keep things simple, let the guys play faster. It shouldn't be much of a drop off, if any, on the defensive side of the ball.
I agree, man. But, since we already switched gears, let's talk about the current state of Chicago. It's been an up and down season. What are your overall impressions of this team this year? What do you think? Let's take the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Well, the good, at times they've been able to move the ball. At times the defense is shown to be elite. The bad is at times the offense has failed to move the ball, protect the quarterback, run the ball, and at times the defense is giving up untimely points.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. Over 100 in the chat. So, one of the biggest stories of this year has been the development and quarterback of Caleb Williams. What's your assessment of Caleb's growth, and what does he need to do today against the Niners? What would you see would be like a victory for him besides a win?
Well, I think when you call plays that allow him to get the ball out of his hands quickly, that helps him. Obviously, if you run the ball, that helps a young quarterback. So if you're able to do those two things and then use the play action pass, that'll work. You have a great tight end. I would say use the middle of the field to your advantage. Tight end is the best friend of a young quarterback. So you got a good receiving core, good tight end, run the ball, get the ball in his hands quick, and then let him take some of the pressure off him.
I don't know if Eric could get in his company vehicle that fast, but we could definitely use you on the field today. We're down some players. You think you could? I knew you were pretty fast back in the day. You think you could fill in as a backup running back?
No, not even close.
Oh, come on, man. Look at them guns, man. Look at that guy.
Got nothing to do with the wheels.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the wheels. Oh, you got some legs, dude. You got some legs. All right, so what about let's talk about the other side of the ball, the one that you are most familiar with. The 49ers bring a dominant defense and a high-powered offense. From your experience as a linebacker, how do the Bears contain weapons like all their running backs, Kittle, and their receivers?
Well, it's tough. I think that one of the ways you control the receivers is that you put pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah.
So if we're able to stop the run, make it a one-dimensional game, and then give him some looks up front where he doesn't know where the pressure's coming from, confuse him a little bit. I think you do that, then you'll be able to handle the passing.
Let me get this a little bit over towards you, man. You're the there we go. All right, so we got a really big question here. Everybody's been wanting to know about this. Bobby, you were at the same high school at Randy Moss. How different was he than his teammates and competition in high school?
Well, actually, I went to school with Randy since we were 6 years old, since first grade.
6 years old.
Yeah.
Listen to that, Bearlissimo. Do a little bit better research, but we appreciate the question, pal.
Yeah. No. But so when he first moved to town, it was evident that he was a different animal.
Yeah.
I shouldn't name him that, but a different breed.
Yeah.
So he was always faster. He's strong. He's strong as an ox too. People don't really realize.
Really?
That. Yes. And
I know they put him in some. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I just got excited about this thought because we lost a game in the Hail Mary. I'm sorry if anybody's dealing with PTSD right now from the Hail Mary issue that we had, but I remember Bill Belichick used to put him in during a Hail Mary as a defensive guy to just bat the ball down.
Yeah, I mean, he's 6'5", probably had like a 40-inch vertical. He has great hands, great ball skills. There's nothing that he can't do athletically. So, I mean, he's always been that way, And so it wasn't, you kind of got used to it. It's kind of like seeing a pretty girl all the time. Pretty soon you're like, oh, that's just her, but then you don't see her for a while. You see her somewhere else, you're like, oh yeah. So that was him. You looked on the NFL and he's still doing the same thing he did in college. But in college, he's still doing the same thing he did in high school. So,
Randy, if you're listening today, your best childhood buddy from way back in the day thinks you're pretty, bro. So dude, remember that, okay? Little bit extra in the Christmas sock, okay?
He's in my prayers. So I know
Yeah.
things going on, so.
Yeah, but I'm sure he still appreciates a couple jokes. You know what I'm saying, man?
No, he does.
Yeah, he appreciates that, right? Shout out to you. Prayers up, bro. Bearlissimo said, blame Wikipedia, not me. So Wikipedia makes us smart, but when we're not smart because of Wikipedia, we blame Wikipedia, but we own Wikipedia as if it's our own thoughts, right? Can I get an amen? It's just like Bearlissimo also says, I'd just like to add my prayers for Randy Moss and his battle against his illness. Hope all is good for him and his family. Judy Bridges, Scott Bridges' mom is on YouTube. Shout out to Judy! Judy Bridges, we love you. But hey, here's the deal. We got another question for you. What do you think the Bears' biggest key to victory is today, bro? What do you think it is?
I would think it's efficiency. You have to be able to play good situational football, handle the 4-minute drill, the 2-minute drill, both offenses and defensively, and play well in 2 of the 3 phases. So you do that, you come away with a win.
That's awesome, dude. You hear that? It's all about the phases. Pay attention to the phases, Bears. So here's the deal. Bobby, who was the toughest player you ever faced against during the NFL career? That's a question that I have from people in the chat. We've got chat from Twitterverse. We got all over, man. You're looking at Twitter. It's X app now, whatever. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, you name it. They're coming in hot, bro. People want to hear from Bobby. Who was the toughest player you ever faced during the NFL career? Could have been somebody on your team. If not, that's okay.
Yeah. Well, the toughest player I would say, special team wise, when I played on special teams, mainly played special teams.
Yeah.
A guy named Terry Jackson from San Francisco.
Oh.
He was big, fast, quick. Yeah, he was very good.
Yeah?
Yeah. And then I would say defensively, probably Marshall Falk. Now I got Marshall towards the tail end of his career, but obviously he can still go. And that's something to add because I just remember rushing home to watch Thursday night football when he was in college. So that added a little mystique to it.
Shout out, man. That's awesome, dude. I love this deep dive with Bobby, man. This is great. We got more questions and we're about ready to wrap it up. We got more people in the building. Love that Buckus jersey. Shout out to Urlacher. What do we got there? 22 Forte, right? Oh, so I'd love to know what Bobby Bearlissimo again. Come on, Bearlissimo. Give people a chance, man. Let the people speak, man. No, shout out to him on the other side of the pond, man. Great guy. He'd love to know what you think we need to improve on defense, given that, you were a DC, man. What do you think we need to improve on is what he's asking, man.
A consistent pass rush. So you get a consistent pass rush. When you play a 4 down, when you're able to rush the quarterback with 4, that adds a lot of pressure to the offense.
What about 5 or 6? I mean, when you're in the mix as a linebacker, what does that look like? Because I know Eric Washington likes to come in hot. Well, at least Buffalo did. We haven't really been able to see what his identity is because he's kind of been under the Eberfluff, umbrella. So we don't really know what it's like. But from your perspective, do you like it when they dial up some blitzes for you to come in hot, the linebackers?
Well, ironically, I was a linebacker who didn't really like the blitz. I like to sit back and kind of read things.
Yeah,
but
you're a reader, bro.
If you could rush with 4, that gives you a lot more flexibility.
Yeah.
If you want to bring 5, fortunately the Bears has defensive secondary to hold up against that, because that's when you start bringing 5, you have to worry about the slots and the outside receivers. So if you're able to hold up against that, then bring 5, bring 6, bring 7.
Bro, I cannot even believe that this guy doesn't like the mic or the camera. He loves you guys more, and that's why he's putting up with my silly questions. Appreciate you guys. So if you were in the Bears locker room today, and I wish you were, but I kind of wish you weren't because you're spending the day with me, brother, what would you say to these guys, to the team before the game? What would be your, imposing, raw speech?
I don't really think we're at the raw phase right now.
Okay.
I think that you just have to, and I'm sure they preach this throughout the week, because you lose a head coach, which seems like a good person. You don't like seeing good people lose their jobs, right? But you also have to understand it's a business, and you have to stay singularly focused, and the focus is to win the game. So you have to limit the distractions. So in the locker room, tell them, to Bill Belichick, focus on what you have to do your job.
I like that. Keep it simple, right?
Yeah.
Just like my guy earlier said, keep it simple. I love that, Big Game James. Shout out to Big Game James in the building. Shout out to Chris. He'll be doing halftime and post-game analysis. Shout out to Eric. Shout out to everybody at Bridges Scoreboard. We got one more question, and then we're going to open it up with some autographs and some pictures and some in-game analysis up here at Bridges Scoreboard. If you're not up here, what are you doing? Get up here at 121 North Griffith Boulevard in Griffith, Indiana. Great times, great fun. We always win here at Bridges Scoreboard, even when the Bears can't. So here's the deal. I'll throw in my prediction, but remember, it's all about cheering for our fans, okay? And then you can give us how you see the game is playing out, who wins and what's the score, okay? I think the Bears are going to win. You always get a little extra boost when you switch over to there as an interim. So I'm going to say 99. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That would be if Ditka was coaching, okay? 35-21 Bears.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think Caleb is going to go off. I think our defense is going to do good. I think we're going to see a couple sacks, probably a couple sacks from the sack attack of Sweat, not Keith, but Montez. You like
I
that?
like that.
So, got a little flavor over here, bro.
I see.
Bobby, what do you think, man? Can you follow that, man? What do you see? What do you see?
I say 17-21 Bears.
Okay. Bobby's in the building, man. He thinks we're gonna win, man. Hey, look at this. Bear Lismo says 27-21 Bears. You guys are close, man. You guys are practically brothers. Brothers from other mothers. Bobby, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure hearing your stories and insights. Any final words for Bear fans as we gear up for today's game, brother?
Nah, just keep the faith.
Keep the faith, win, lose, or draw, right? Yeah. So, and that's a wrap for today's special pregame show at Bridges Scoreboard. Thanks to Bobby Howard for joining us and to all the fans here for making this event special. Be sure to stick around, grab some food and drinks, and cheer on the Bears as they take on the 49ers. This is Brandon Trax Hyatt signing off. Bear down.